what we already studied in module 12, grade 8. Module 12, we studied, yes, Hannah?
The Pythagorean theorem,
Yes.
the converse of the Pythagorean theorem, and the distance between the 2 points.
The distance between 2 points. And we added a part about special case of right triangle. For Pythagorean theorem, is there anyone can tell me the rule for the Pythagorean theorem? The rule for the Pythagorean theorem, in case if I have a triangle, Pythagorean theorem, it's working with which type of triangle, grade 8? Pythagorean theorem.
Right.
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 We can work with obtuse or acute.
Right angle.
No, it should be with the right angle triangle. And what is the longest side in the right angle triangle?
Hypotenuse.
The hypotenuse, yes. Which we can donate it by which letter?
C.
C, yes. Okay, so the longest side in the right angle triangle is called hypotenuse, and we can donate it by the letter C. So this one is A, and this one is B, and this is C, and we can write the rule, which is AC square equal what?
A2 plus B2.
Yes, C square equal A2 or A to the power of 2 plus B to the power of 2. After that, if I want to calculate the value of only C, so we can say that C equal square root of A to the power of 2 plus B to the power of 2. This is in case if we are looking for the value of the hypotenuse. If I'm looking for one side, then we will make the same rule, but we will subtract. For example, if I'm looking for B, for example, then if you want to find B, it will be what, grade 8? Square root C.
A square minus C square.
Minus B2.
No, we have to start with C.
The C square.
Right, C square, okay, because C, as I said before, it's the longest side in the triangle. And the same, if I'm looking for the other leg, which is A, we will say A equal square root C square minus A square. So this is for Pythagorean theorem. And we can have word problems which related to Pythagorean theorem. And by the end, we are talking about a right angle triangle. Then he can express any real word questions and all related to the right angle triangle. The second part with converse of the Pythagorean theorem, most of time he's going to give us three sides and we will say if this one represent a right triangle or not. Also, we can classify it if it's right or it's obtuse or it's acute. Let me give you a question. Show if the following sides form a right triangle. And then the side is 18.5 centimeter, 6 centimeter, and 17.5 centimeter. Could you please calculate it and tell me grade 8? Show if the following sides form a right triangle. Is there anyone can tell me what is the first step we have to do with?
Pick the two legs and leave the longest side.
Yes, pick the two legs in one side and we can find the longest side in the other. I can say that I will divide it into two parts like this. Okay, I'm going to pick the greatest one in my left hand, which is 18.5 all to the power of 2. In the opposite side, I'm going to put 6 to the power of 2 plus 17.5 all to the power of 2. So the answer, it will be what, grade 8?
18.5.
We will start with 18.5 all to the power of 2 equal.
Miss, how I made it under a square root. So, will it change anything?
Under a square root? How?
I made in the calculator I made 6 power 2 plus 17.5 power 2
Okay.
if a square root.
Okay. Then in this case, it will give you the third side. Right? But this way, it will give you the third side. Right?
Yeah.
If it
Yes.
18.
It gave me 18.5.
Exactly. So if it will give you 18.5 to this one, it will be a right triangle. If it will not, so we will say yes or no. Yes, it's correct method. Yes. But if I will ask you to classify the triangle, it will be different. But yani, let me show you how. In this question, we pick up the greatest one in our left hand and we put 18.5 all to the power of 2. The answer was 342.25. In the opposite side, we have 6 to the power of 2 plus 17.5 all to the power of 2. So the answer is 342.25. What do you note, grade 8?
They're both the same?
Both are the same.
They both are equal.
Yes, they both are equal. Which means it will be, yes, it will be a right triangle. Yes, it will be a right triangle. Okay. What about if I want to classify? يعني in another question, I want to decide if this one is a right triangle or obtuse or acute. If the greatest side, okay, the square of the greatest side more than the sum of the other two sides, so the triangle will be what, grade 8?
Obtuse?
Obtuse, yes. So if the square, so we said we are talking about the square, not only the sum. Yani if I would say that in the right angle triangle, tell me yes or no. In the right angle triangle, the sum of the two sides of legs is more than the length of the hypotenuse. The sum of the two sides of the leg, it will be more than the length of the hypotenuse.
Acute triangle.
This sentence, it will be correct or
Acute triangle.
The sum of the two legs.
No, because of which type of triangle? It will not be correct.
It's not correct, right? Because already we are not talking about the sum of the lengths. We are talking about the square of the sides. If you are talking about Pythagorean theorem, so it will be the squares of the sides, not the sides. Yani in this case, I wrote 6 to the power of 2 plus 17 power of 2, right? 17.5 power of 2. I didn't write 6 plus 17.5. Take care about this point, grade 8. So in case if I have a right triangle like this, we said the square of the leg, the square of the hypotenuse equal the sum of the squares of the other two sides, not only the side. Who can say again, what did I say? Huh?
The hypotenuse must be
the
equal
square,
to
the square, not the hypotenuse only.
The square.
The square of the hypotenuse equal the sum of squares of the two legs. Then the square of the hypotenuse equal the sum of squares of the two legs, like this question. Where is the hypotenuse? The longest side, which is 18.5. Then 18.5 all to the power of 2 equal the sum of the squares of the other two sides. So it's not only the sum of the sides, the squares of the sides. Okay, grade 8. The distance between 2 points. The distance between 2 points. Do you remember the formula for the distance between 2 points? We talked about it yesterday. Distance between formula. Distance between 2 points.
x2 minus x1. A power of 2 plus x y2 minus y1.
And all of it should be under the square root. X to the power of 2, sorry, x2 minus x1 all power 2 plus y2 minus y1 all power 2. And once we have 2 points, we will classify the 2 points and we will write the distance between them, x1, y1, x2, y2, and then we will find the distance. Don't forget that maybe we have a question in the coordinate plane like this, and we can put aside one side, for example. They can say, I have this side and this side, and I'm looking for the hypotenuse. Then how you will find the hypotenuse? We have different ways to find the hypotenuse. If this line is parallel to the y-axis, so we can count. Did you remember? We can count. And this one is parallel to x-axis, we can count. So we know that we have how many units with the line which is parallel to y-axis and how many units with the horizontal line parallel to x-axis, and then we will use the Pythagorean theorem to find the hypotenuse. This is the first method. The second method, we can use a distance formula. We can say this point, the coordinate for this point, the coordinates for the other point, and then we will find the distance between them. Understood this part? Did you remember? Did you remember this part, grade 8? Okay. So we said that we have two different ways to find the length of the hypotenuse. First, by counting the vertical line and the horizontal line, and then we will use Pythagorean theorem, a square plus b square, or we can find the coordinates for A, the coordinates for C, and then we will use the distance formula. Next part, let me also remind you about a special case for the right angle triangle. We said that we can use Pythagorean theorem with the special case. What is the special case? We studied two cases. The first one is the isosceles triangle, which is 45, 45. Did you remember the main ratio which I explained in the class? Do you remember the main ratio? We said once I have here 45, and the other one here is, so if this one equal 90 and the second equal 45, so this one also it will be equal 45. After that, the main ratio is 1 root 2. Don't forget grade 8, please. 1 root 2, which means if I will change this side and I will put in a state of it, I said that the main ratio is 1 root 2. If I will remove now 1 and root 2, and I'm going to write, for example, 10. So could you please tell me the length of the other two sides? If I would say that this is A and this one is B and the third one is C. So we have what? This one is 10 and the other is
And 10.
10. So the hypotenuse, it will be
Root 5.
10 root 2.
Oh.
Okay, 10 root 2. What about if I will change this side and will put instead of it 4? If I would change this one, I would put 4. Could you please tell me what is the rest of
4.
the sides? It will be what? It will be 4, 4, 4 root 2. If I would put 5, 5, 5 root 2, 11, 11, 11 root 2, and so on. What about if I will start with this one and I said that this one was 15 root 2? If this one is 15 root 2, which means
15
this
and
side
15.
it will be equal 15. Yes, so this side it will be equal 15, and this side it will be equal 15. Okay, if I want to use Pythagorean theorem, if I will say that this one isosceles and I forgot already the original formula, then you can calculate it by using Pythagorean theorem. How? If this one was 5, it's isosceles, so this one it should be equal 5. And then I want to find the third side, so AC, which represents the hypotenuse, it will be equal square root 5 to the power of 2 plus 5 to the power of 2. So by the end, you will find that the answer is 5 root 2. Okay, it's 5 root 2. Then in this case, you have this one, isosceles right angle triangle, so we can use it as an application for the Pythagorean theorem, and then we have 5 and 5 and 5 root 2. Any question? Any question?
No, thank you.
If I want to find the parameter, if I want to find the parameter for any triangle, what we have to do? Yani if I have this triangle now and this one is 5 root 2. If I want to calculate the parameter for this triangle grade 8, what we have to do? If I want to calculate the parameter.
Base multiply height. لا لا لا.
البarameter for any parameter of triangle equal what? Sum of all sides. Okay, if you want to calculate the parameter of any triangle, it will be sum of all sides. Then if I have this triangle and I want to calculate the parameter, then it will be 5 plus 5 plus 5 root 2. Okay, then it will be 5 plus 5 plus 5 root 2. Understood? If you want to calculate the area for this figure, area of triangle equal what? Area of triangle equal what, grade 8? Half base time height. Half base time height. Where is the base and where is the height of the right triangle? It will be the two legs. The two legs, each one represent the base and the second represent the height. So it will be half time the base, which is what is 5, and the height, which is also 5, and then we will find the answer. It will be half times 5 times 5 equal 12.5 طبعا squared centimeter. Then في module 12 you have to know how we can use Pythagorean theorem to find the missing side, what the meaning of Pythagorean theorem, how we can find the converse of the Pythagorean theorem by classifying the triangle or show if the triangle is a right angle or not, how we can use distance formula to find the distance between any 2 points. Also, we studied a special case, which is 45-45 isosceles triangle, and how we can find the missing side, and how we can find also the perimeter and the area of the triangle. In module 13, we talked about it yesterday, which is, we will take only the first 2 lessons, which is talking about what grade 8?
The volume of cylinder and cube.
And the cube?
Cone. Sorry, and cone.
Yes, the volume of cylinder and cone.
Miss, I have a question in model 12.
Yes, Hamid.
Can we have an example about the 30-60 triangle?
Sure. Okay, the 30-60 triangle. If I have a triangle like this, for 30-60, we have 2 different sides. We have a hypotenuse already. This is A, and this is B. And this is C. And we have a right triangle. And we said that this angle is 30. And this angle is 60. And we have already 90. The side opposite to 30 always will be half the side or half the hypotenuse, and this one it will be √3. Then if you have the smallest side which is opposite to 30, يعني for example, if we have the first side here, this one was 5. So I want to find the rest of the sides. I want the longest side, the side opposite to 60 and the side opposite to 90. So I have this side now was 5. So the hypotenuse, it will be how many? Grade 8? 10. Yes, you will multiply by 2. So if this side equal 5 and this side, it will be equal 10. What about this side? It will be what?
5√3.
Yes, very good. It will be 5√3. Yes. Okay. What about if this side was 6? So it will be 6. 12, 6√3. If it will be 10, this side was 10. Give me the rest. 10. So this side it will be 20, and this one it will be 10√3.
10√2.
You will
10√3.
So you repeat this number, and you will put √3, and you will multiply this number by 2, and you will find the hypotenuse. Okay. Also, we can use Pythagorean. Forgot the special case. You can work if you have this side was 5 and this side was 10. So you are going to tell me it will be 10 squared minus 5 squared. Could you please calculate it and tell me the answer? It will be equal how many? 10 squared minus 5 squared. It will be
5√3.
5√3, exactly. Then, if you can use the rule directly, 1, 2√3, you are welcome. If you don't know how you can use the special case, then it's normal question with Pythagorean theorem to find a side or to find a leg. Is this your question, Yahana?
Yes, thank you.
With the volume, I said yesterday we revised the volume together. And don't forget only how we can solve for a variable. How we will convert with a variable. We started volume of cylinder. So volume of cylinder equal, did you remember? Volume of cylinder equal what? By
multiply R2,
yes,
multiply height.
multiply R2, multiply height. In case if you will give you the diameter, then you have to divide it by 2 to find the radius. After that, if you want to find the height, what about if you want to find the height? It will be what? If I will give you the volume and we are looking for the height, it will be volume divide by R squared. And also we said, if I want to find the radius, what we have to do? Radius only, then you will put them under a radical sign because it was R to the power of 2. If you want to calculate R, so it will be volume divided by what? By
Height times pi.
yes, height times by, exactly. Okay, then please take care about how we can solve for a variable with volume of cylinder. So volume of cylinder, it will be by R square times height. What about the height? If you want to calculate the height, it will be volume divided by times R to the power of 2. Only you will just substitute. Second,
Miss, I have a question.
yes, honey.
In finding the radius,
yes.
After putting it in a root square, do I put يعني when I come to answer بقى عادي, do I put it in square root too?
No, the answer, يعني if you are going to use calculator to find the answer, right? Then
yes.
you will put a square root and then you will put under the square root v over by h. Or from the beginning, if you want to find r square equal v over by times h, and by the end, يعني once you will find the answer, you can put the answer under the radical sign or under the square root. Okay, so you have two different ways. The first way, you can work r square equal v over by h. If you want to answer it directly, so it will be r equal square root v over by h. Yani, for example, if you have r square, when you divide the volume over by times h, it's 49. Okay, then you have to put square root for 49 equal 7. So you can work step by step, or you can work directly r equal square root v over by times h. It's up to you. Okay, so this is for, welcome. This is for the volume of cylinder. Also, we started volume of cone. Did you remember the volume of cone? The volume of
the same, but multiply 1 over 3.
Exactly the same. The volume of cone to the volume of cone equal third, and then by r squared times height. By r squared times what? Times height. So the volume of cone, it will be third the volume of cylinder. So the volume of cylinder, it will be how many related to the volume of cone? Yani if you will start with volume of cylinder, how many times equal the volume of cylinder? Twice ولا triple ولا half ولا ايه؟ The volume of cylinder. Cylinder. How many times?
Cylinder.
يعني we said in the volume of cone third, right? يبقى the volume of cylinder how many times من الكون؟ قدها كم مرة؟ If they have the same base.
1 over 3.
لا احنا قلنا الكون 1 over 3 من السلندر. لو بدأت لك بالسلندر بقى، يعني if I would say cylinder, How many times من الكون؟
2/3 difference.
3 times يا جماعة، 3 times. يعني ها if you have cylinder، يعني لو احنا معانا cylinder وجوه السلندر we have cone، والكون have the same base و same height، يعني مش أي حاجة لازم تكون same base و same إيه و same height. طب if I want to fill this cylinder how many times من الكون it will be for the cylinder؟ الكون قلنا third السلندر، يبقى لو بدأنا بالسلندر يبقى how many times؟ 3 times. Understood؟ Hello؟
Yes.
يبقى الكون third السلندر، والسلندر 3 times الكون if they have same base and same height. Okay, so we have only 1 minute, so best of luck to all of you. If you have any question you can send to me. Okay, and also you can watch the video again, and please study hard today, grade 8. Do you have any question before we will end? Any question? Lovely students.
No, thank you.
Okay, I'll take a picture for the attendance today. Okay, thank you, grade 8. Inshallah, tomorrow, once we will open يعني في